Hello, good day if you're in Asia, and good night if you're in the Americas. Welcome to the Ask the Expert session. My name is Long Chen. I'm a product marketing manager for Microsoft Workplace Analytics. I'm from Seattle. Today, I am your moderator. First of all, let's do a little housekeeping. Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. So we expect all the participants to uphold the Microsoft Code of Conduct. This would cover the main events and all the related activities. Earlier in our digital breakout, Kamal shared with us the exciting news that we are bringing the new well-being and productivity insights powered by Microsoft MyAnalytics and the Workplace Analytics to Teams. And starting October 2020, the individuals, managers, and business leaders will get that new insights personalized to the role with the recommended actions to making changing habits and improving well-being and productivity easier. And this session is the follow-up session to the breakout. In this session, we have a team of experts ready to answer your questions around the new well-being and productivity insights. And let me quickly introduce the team of experts. On the camera, you will meet Wendy Guo, who is the Principal Product Manager for MyAnalytics, Sean Floyd from Australia, and Kenji Saki from Japan, who are directors for Workplace Analytics. On the chat, we have Angie, who is the Program Manager for my Microsoft Workplace Analytics. And we also have Carly and Thomas from Australia, both sales leads for Workplace Analytics. And the last, we have Yui Takashima, who is an awesome business analyst for Workplace Analytics from Japan. With that, now the floor is open for questions. But I am going to take advantage of being a moderator by asking questions to Wendy. Wendy, I know you are the mastermind behind the awesome personal insights in Teams. And I want to know, what are the top 3 things you're so excited about the new experiences in Teams?
Thanks, Long. We've been working so hard to bring these new well-being related insights into Teams, and I don't know if I can just get it down to 3, but I can walk through what are the top of mind that I'm so excited that we get to announce at Ignite this year. Number 1 is, given like COVID and the pandemic, let me tell you, the boundaries have blurred between home and work for me. And I know this is not unique to me, but like the number of meetings, chats, calls, and like the number of disruptions in my house have skyrocketed since the shift to remote work for at least us in the United States and among others around the world, right? Not only work, but home life had added to the stress. So the number 1 feature I'm most excited about is what we were calling like this virtual commute. And really what we're doing here is giving you a workflow to help you mindfully disconnect from work. Firstly, like starting from work around clearing off your plate, clearing your mind, adding tasks for tomorrow, making sure that you're prepped for the day, allowing yourself to reflect around like, how am I feeling about this? And then lastly, a really awesome headspace integration where then we can take the content of meditation and the practice of mindful disconnection so that you can feel like you're off work, right? Where you can recreate that physical time where we had moving from office to home and being clear around that. Secondly, I am really excited to bring together things are like, as a manager, as a collaborator, as a project manager, I have to work with so many folks, and it's kind of hard to reach out and stay connected to people. So in the stay connected area, not only can I keep up with Sean by pinning him to my important people to make sure I can reach out to him, but giving me reminders around sending kudos, right? So just positive interactions, not always just saying like you have outstanding tasks or you may you need to RSVP to their meetings. Of course, I definitely need to do that, but it also encourages me to send positive things like, hey, thank you for sending me that document. Like, really appreciate like all of your hard work, all those pieces. And then thirdly is to like leverage the power of Teams, right? Like Teams is now becoming such a central hub for all of us with the shift to remote work, and it's all together in one place. So similar to our other like add-ins in Outlook and our experiences within email, right? This also brings the experiences tailored into Teams' personal insights to help you feel better about your day, better about being off Teams as well. Back to you, Long.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm gonna ask Sean a question, because Sean, I know you probably one of very few colleagues I have joined the team from the very beginning. So share me your thoughts about the announcement of bringing managers' insights to teams. What are your thoughts are, and then how that compared to the manager insights experience in the workplace analytics app experience?
Thanks for the question, Long. I think, well, just to start with answering the question, the second part of your question is the difference between the web-based app, Manager Insights, and the Teams-based app, Manager Insights. And the core difference there is the ability to implement what we call plans, right? The pushing out of strategies or goals for the individuals within a team based upon those metrics that a manager sees. So in the web-based app, that's an in-place feature, but that's something that's coming down the road in Q4 of FY21 for the Teams-based app. Beyond that, it's the same. The metrics are calculated and presented in the same way, which is very exciting for us because we've found that this is just a great improvement in how we present the insights related to teams, and we provide a bit more of an actionable point of view to team managers into how they can use the workplace analytics, collaboration and behavioral metrics to actually understand the context and the behavior and the work patterns of their teams, and then actually do something about it. It's not just data. We try to incorporate recommendations and best practice and research and thought leadership so that managers have this information in their hands and at their disposal to act on it quickly. And so by incorporating this into teams where people are doing their work on a day-to-day basis, where they can get after all of their documents and join calls and ping their team members, it's all right there for them. And so we see this as a way to really equip managers with even more tools to help them do their jobs better and help their people do their jobs better as well. So it's really exciting for us.
That's awesome. And I have one more question for you, Sean.
Sure.
I'm sorry, just let me put this on the full screen. I only have one screen, unfortunately. Just give me one second.
I won't hit mute on myself this time.
Oops. Just 1 second. I would like, the question I have for you is about the leader's experience. What is the experience for the leaders' experience in the teams? Is a similar experience to the leaders' experience in our preview?
It is, and so I think the answer is largely similar to what I gave regarding the difference or the similarities between the teams and web-based apps for manager insights. For leader insights, it is virtually the same. The way that we've structured it is by sharing basically 9 different outcomes or 9 different scenarios or areas where we'll have organization-wide insights and data that are intended for a leader, a more senior person in the organization. The metric calculations, like there are some nuanced differences at this point in time, but the layout and the concept is identical across web-based and the Teams-based apps. There's similar to what I referenced with Manager Insights, the same sort of call-outs with respect to opportunities, with respect to different research that backs some of the findings and insights we're providing, and other best practices at the leader's disposal to try to act on and get value from some of these insights, excuse me, is available in both of those apps. One other core difference, I guess I'll call out, is with the web-based app. So this is the workplace analytics in its traditional sense. There's the ability to drill down a little bit further right there in the web-based app to sort of use the different scenarios or the different outcomes as a launch pad to look into sort of group differences to get a little bit more granular as you want to go through and slice and dice the data to understand the differences between different parts of your organization. So that's something that's specific to the web-based app at this point, but beyond that, we're just really excited again to have this, this capability built into Teams coming up.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. That's super helpful for people who are not very familiar with those experiences. And then I have one more question for Wendy regarding the personal insights. At Ignite, Satya and Jerry Spataro both had interview with Headspace CEO or co-founder. And the question is why we choose Headspace for partner and what does a partnership look like? Would you mind elaborate a little bit on that, Wendy?
Sure, thanks, Long. So the question is, why did we choose Headspace and why we're excited about the partnership? So I must admit, I tried Headspace a couple of years ago and I found it way too hard, right? Like meditation is incredibly difficult. But the benefits are unreal, right? And so as a long time so once I found it to be too hard, I decided to really try it again, given I had a lot more quote unquote time on my hands, right? And I needed to find some way to start to use my mental energy to start to apply these best practices in my workspace, right? Now, which is now my home space. So Headspace seems like this perfect partner. They have these really accessible pieces of content to help with things like mindful breaks, as well as longer term things around focus and music, as well as helping folks unwind, right? So they were a perfect partner to not only incorporate into our virtual commute space, but we have features in our Cortana briefing engagement that will help you book time for breaks in your calendar. We already have a focus time feature where then you will help you also make time for focus, as well as muting your notifications during that time. So we are so excited to pull their content into those times when you need to really dedicate either to recharge, to focus, to get things done, or even just it's too much. I need to take a break and step back. All of those pieces now come alive, and we can enrich this time with our partnership with Headspace.
That's wonderful. I personally very much looking forward to use the capability. And one more question along that line, Wendy. When is that available?
So the app is going to be coming soon, and Headspace will be part of that, likely starting in early 2021.
That's great news. And then I probably want to ask a question around the license or the subscription. Do I need to pay for the Headspace, or if I were not a user or subscriber for Headspace, if I use it in the Teams, do I need to pay?
No, you will not need to pay for this. This is the loveliest part is that we are Headspace has generously given us a set of their content that is going to be tailored to these experiences I talked about above, especially around that virtual commute and unwinding from your office mode into your home mode, right? And so no additional subscriptions are needed on top of how the app is already going to work.
And is there any additional cost if I'm a Microsoft 365 user? Is there additional cost for me to access those wonderful personal insights capability available in Teams?
Nope. All available for M365 users, given how ubiquitous like well-being is and how everybody could stand to benefit from a little bit of mindfulness in their day.
That's a wonderful news. I will certainly use it once it's available in 2021. I believe that's the timeline you just mentioned. Okay, let's turn to Kenji. I do have a question for you, Kenji. And I noticed in Kamo's session, and she mentioned that we are bringing the value of organizational insights to our IT leader and the digital transformation officer, which is a wonderful, very exciting news for our ITs, which are the main audience for Ignite. And then that what do we bring is that business continuity report, and we add that into productivity score. So help the IT admin and IT leaders can go beyond the usage data. And I understand business continuity report is a new capability our team have recently developed. Can you help explain what is business continuity report, and how should the IT leader position workplace analytics or business continuity report and productivity score? Kenji?
Yep, it's a long question. So so first of all, I want to talk about the productivity score. So you can see without any extra cost. So if you have M65, you can see how much the employees are using M65 or 365. So you can see the after deploying the M65, or maybe someone add the Teams to your the tools. So then you can see how much they are using, like how many % of the employee sharing their sharing the screen through the Teams, or how many % of the employee are using the video on. So such a things. So you can see how your employee is using M365 effectively. So that's the first things you can see in the productivity score. And the second one is the business continuity report. So it's one of the productivity score you can see in admin screen. So if you have a role of global administrator or some Exchange, SharePoint, whichever you have, if you have admin rights, you can see the both productivity score and business continuity report. And the business continuity report said, so in the new remote world due to the COVID-19, so you can see the change of the kind of behavior or collaboration style of your employee kind of chronological kind of way. So like March, so a lot of company employee are start working remotely, and you can see before remote or after the remote work. So how the collaboration pattern is changed. So and so you can see how much we have a problem to access or how much they are using Teams, such like that. And if you combine using the workplace analytics, you can see the more details. So like who is talking with whom, who is using IM, such as things. And you can see the subject of the meeting. So like after the COVID-19, from the Microsoft research, we got a lot of meeting in lunchtime more than before COVID-19. And we're doing kind of non-business collaboration. So we avoid someone is isolated from the team organization. So we got a like a coffee break meeting or bring your own coffee, talking about your pet, something like that. So if you use the workplace analytics combined with business continuity dashboard, what kind of collaboration is started with who started with whom, with the business conversation or non-business socialized type of meeting. So we can see a lot if you combined business continuity dashboard and workplace analytics.
That's a very full explanation. Thank you so much, Kenji. Okay, I have some questions around privacy. I saw privacy is one of the most asked questions at our other sessions. So I'm going to turn to you, Wendy, for the first privacy-related questions. For the personal insights, a lot of individual employee might ask, can my manager see my insights?
And the answer is absolutely not. We are designed with privacy first, right? And these insights are designed for you to do as you want with them, like achieve well-being, get better focus, like build and maintain a strong network. All of these pieces, though, out of the context of you, don't really make a difference because it is about you achieving your best self within the context of work, right? And so even then, we have deliberately designed it so that it is with privacy, again, in mind and for your eyes only, not for anybody else.
So nobody else can see your inline suggestions, anything but yourself.
Nope, but there are folks who do use this as an opportunity to share with their collaborators, or I know myself, I do share it with my manager who you guys saw in the digital breakout Kamal, to to say like, hey, like, wow, my network has exploded with like 40 new people, or whoa, like I feel like I might be like spending too much time with certain folks, like I need time back, right? So use it, like you're able to leverage it to have these like much deeper and richer conversations with the people you trust. But we don't share it on your behalf. You have to share it yourself.
I like your best practice sharing, my personal insights with my manager, the one-on-one, which can be a way to help me to improve. I think I will take note on that and try to apply in the future. and then I have a questions for Sean, is still along the privacy. I know you are based in Australia and you work with many customers. How you address the privacy concern when you talk to your enterprise customers about workplace analytics?
Sure. Well, I think it really comes down to first an understanding, kind of along the same lines of what Wendy was going after, which is what is the intention, the point of this data existing? What is a customer using it for? And so there's sort of the intention aspect of it before you even get into the technical side. And I think, just generally speaking, the purpose of workplace analytics and looking at this data at an aggregate level, and keep that in mind, is in order to help people do their jobs better, right? It is not in order to monitor or serve as a surveillance tool and to identify individuals. Within Workplace Analytics, within the web-based app and the Explore dashboards, and then the team-based app, so the Manager and Leader Insights, all of these metrics are aggregated, which is to say that there's a minimum group size that needs to be satisfied in order for data to be visible to the manager or to the leader to see them. So we're talking about group-based averages for one, right? So there's also not an individually identifiable way that surfaces to see these metrics in the different insight approaches we're talking about. And this ties back to the sort of role and the rights that the managers and the leaders are granted by virtue of their assignment and their ability to see the teams or web-based apps. So this is something called the analyst limited role, and that ensures that there is no way for them to get after any sort of row-based or row-level data. One other component to call out, and I think this is something that might mean something to the Ignite audience, at least. A lot of my enterprise customers won't necessarily know what it means, but the dashboards that we've been talking about, the Manager and Leader Insights, invoke this concept called differential privacy, which is in effect statistical noise added to the data sets such that we're still sharing the accurate data points, but there's no sort of, no ability to by process of elimination, considering people that might have been on vacation or anything like that, to get after individual level data. So suffice it to say that all of those steps are taken in order to ensure the privacy of our customers' data and the privacy of the individual users' data as well within Workplace Analytics.
That's great, thank you. And I noticed that we probably only have a few minutes now. Let me check if there's any questions on the chat. Should I address? With that, we are about to close this session, and just make sure that ask your account manager about the Workplace Analytics workshop if you are interested, and then install the new Insight app for Teams starting October 2020 when it's available. And there's a lot of additional learning sessions and the information for you to deep dive if you are interested more about the new insights we announced at Ignite. With that, we are closing the session. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.